You're tuned in to Real Talk with Tamara, where conversations are real, voices are heard, and the real starts here. The real starts here. The real starts here. No filter, no fear. Truth in the mic, let the whole world hear. Stories unfold, voices sincere. Welcome to the place where the real starts here. From life and love to the latest news. Community voices, different views. Breaking it down so we all stay clear. Honest conversations live right here. Speak your truth, let it be known. This is the space where your voice has a home. No judgment here, just real and clear. Real talk with Tamara, the real starts here. Real talk with Tamara. Real people. Real stories. Real truth.
Hello, good evening, you guys, and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps keep the video in the algorithm. So make sure you guys please like, share, subscribe, comment, and all of those great things, okay? Right, you guys, on this evening, I wanted to talk about Justin Straightdropp Johnson, okay? It looks like um, Justin Straightdropp Johnson is sitting in jail reflecting on what he did. And I'm pretty sure it didn't just happen, but I'm sure he regrets what he did. He sees how he was played, okay? And he's making posts about it, okay? I think I said the other day, okay? It might have been the last time I was on, the last live I did. You all got to be crazy if you think Straight Drop, who was ready to tell on certain people before, is going to sit in jail and rot, okay? He's going to exhaust his appeals, and then that's when he's going to play ball, okay? For some reason, I think he knows there is no hope, but he's going to exhaust those appeals, and then that's once he get the Supreme Courts or the appellate courts uphold what the state courts, the verdicts. I mean, he's going to sit there and go. I think it's already hitting him once he get the opportunity to see a lot of people are out and moving on with their life and they really ain't thinking about him. Okay, I'm sure the sensationalism of the verdict has happened and it has kind of died down, and now all of the attention is more so on Hernandez Govan, the attention that Straight Drop had wanted. Um, so I want to. He actually made a post, okay, and he was thinking about Gino. Okay, Gino was one of his best friends that lost his life. Well, actually, allegedly, I believe I did read that they were in a shootout and Stray Drop made a mistake and hit him himself or something like that. I don't know if it was friendly fire or what. Okay. Um, but he says, "Happy birthday to my heavenly brother. It's been almost 10 years and I still think about you every day. It still hurts me seeing you take your last breath. I'll never get it out of my head. Sometimes I wish I could swap you out, G." So this is a person that is uh, really feels like he doesn't have anything to live for. Okay. Um, but he said that before. He's rapped that in songs, how he missed Gino and he wish he could be with them. This is a man that has been in a downward spiral for a very, very long time, which is why it was easy for them to trick him like they did, because he was never going to be a star, right? They was going to put him on, put some videos out, give him a little money, but they knew he wasn't going to be a star, right? And what I've always said, what these young men need to understand, once you do the crime, I mean, and they choose not to pay you, or what you're gonna do? Go to the police and tell them you committed the crime? They know that you're not gonna do that, okay? Or they don't hold their word. You can't go to the police and tell it because you were the damn fool that committed the crime, right? And so they know that. But if you start to make too much racket, what they do is they go ahead and get you on up out of here themselves, right? And he says, sometimes I wish I could swap you out, G, meaning he wished that it was him that was no longer with us. These ninjas never had my back like you. Okay. So he's throwing out that into the atmosphere. He's reflecting. He knows that he was used. Uh, he knows that. Okay. Um, he says, whatever I went through, you went through, vice versa. I went through, you went through, vice versa. I'm almost glad you ain't here to experience the shit I have. All the fake love and betrayal. Now, I'm sure he's throwing it out at somebody, some people he gets the opportunity to see, with him being on the inside and some of these people being on the outside, how they probably running with the people that betrayed him. Okay. Um, I mean, they can't use him anymore. He wanted that name of being a hitman. Okay. And so, I'm sure, some of these the gang leaders, whoever the leaders are, some of these older dudes, they knew that they can make money off of sub contracting him. Okay. They call themselves had the connects. I got a young a YN that's crashing out, and you give me the money, I throw him a little bread, and that's how it is. Um, I used to talk to this guy, and he said that when he was younger, he said they were young. They were supposed to be at Hillcrest. They was like Hillcrest has a junior high school, or did, in a high school. And he said they were supposed to be at the junior high school, but he says that they hung around the Pepper Tree Apartments. He said, and the older dudes, they would be casing out the apartments, and when people would go to work, they would pay them to go in and steal all their stuff. He said we would go in, basically move everything out of these people's houses, like steal everything, burglarize the house, get everything, take it to them, and they gave us $20. And we thought that was a lot of money. But, that's what they do to the ones that's dirt poor. But he had to been a damn fool to do it. But $20 back then, because his ass is old. Okay. Was a lot of money to them. It's a lot of money to a bunch of young boys that's 12 and 13 years old that don't have no money. They were young and stupid, and now he an old fool now. Okay, but I like him. Okay, he a cool person, just a fool. Anyways, he says, I'm glad you ain't here to experience the shit I have, all the fake love, betrayal, and pain that come with being in streets. You would tweet on God. I know right now, boy, you will be millionaire bully. My love for you won't never die. You one of them ones, little bruh. I got mine forever. I ain't let up yet and never will. So what he gonna do? When he say he ain't let up yet, what can he do in jail? Okay. If he ain't let up yet, the only win he got is to do, he don't get no second wins. That's his reality. Being in that cell, thinking about everything that he did that was stupid. Okay. And he was an easy target, because anytime a man essay a woman, that's not a mentally stable man. Okay. He was a teenager, so that's he was a little thrown anyways, right? And so the older dudes used him. Yo Gotti is still out. Okay. Unfortunately, Juke lost his life. Quit is out. Um, some of them other ones that sent him out is out. Devin Burns is out. Um, whoever else he was running with in that endless clique, hoping um, that he was going to get a deal with Moneybag. Moneybag is still out. Moneybag cut him off quick. Didn't even want. And he still hadn't passed the smell test. Didn't even want um his artists referencing him at all. After this boy had ran with them, and he knew what he was being groomed for, and I believe somehow was a part of. Okay, but Straight Drop is he's gonna turn. Okay, the only reason why he hasn't turned yet is because I think with this appellate court, he has appellate court. Once they deny it, they uphold the state court. What will happen is he could take it to the Supreme Court, which he'll be an old man when they get there. Okay, when they finally hear it, um, and then they're gonna deny it. um, and then Yo Gotti and them might be somewhere rotten and dead. Okay, but if he gonna wait for the Supreme Court. But I don't think that that's going to happen. Okay. He sees that he has been used, but he made this choice because he thought that he could come up off of the back of another man. Okay. He wanted the fame, and he made a conscious decision to go and ruin another man's life because of his jealousy. Okay. That's exactly what it was. I keep thinking about that guy that used to come into my chat that says that Dolph knew he had Straight Drop around him. He should have signed him. But see, that's the mentality of a lot of black people. He never would have said that to Clive Davis, right? Because Clive Davis had a lot of people around him that he didn't sign, and he signed they ops, and they worked together. They dare not say anything to a white man, okay? But he thought that he had the right to say organization that Young Dolph built, that he was supposed to sign Straight Drop, and if he didn't, he deserved to die. That was his organization. That was his record label, and he could sign who he want to. But with black people, they want to destroy other black people if they don't do what they say do. Okay. And so what they did was they led this young man into a burning house. He had to do it himself, but he had a bunch of old coons that helped him to do it. And they're going to reap too. These OGs that was misguiding them because they had a jealousy for Dolph with they no good asses, because they was jealous of what he had. They helped to lead this throwed young man that was already misguided into a burning house. But God says, when I get you back for what you did, you're gonna witness it. They are going to get their payback one way or the other, because they misguided a young dude that was already misguided, already enthralled, that was young enough to be their motherfucking son. Okay? So sometimes, people, it seems like people are winning and they have escaped, but they can never escape the wrath of God. Okay. Because what do they do when them infirmities start coming up over their damn bodies? Okay. Right. They can't, they just got to go through it. You get it one way or the other. Okay. And they're going to pay for that. It's a damn shame we got a bunch of old ass men, no good motherfuckers, okay? Excuse my French. When they're no good and jealous to the point of they don't want to. Now I can't ruin my life. Yo Gotti had the beef with Young Dolph, okay? So why didn't they go do it? Juke was a street dude. They said he was a street dude that was out there that didn't have no issues with spinning. If they had a chip on their shoulder, and some of the rest of them that was involved, why didn't they go and knock that chip off Young Dolph's shoulder? Okay, you know why they didn't do it? Because they feel like their life is worth something. Yo Gotti can't go and take Dolph out, even though he was the one with the problem because of his jealousy. He couldn't turn that jealousy that he had on the inside of him for the boy off. He'd rather have seen him dead than seen him shine. But I can't kill him because my life worth something. I got my sons. I got my daughters. I got my alleged empire because it ain't his. He done borrowed too much money from Interscope. See, I know how it works. A bunch of damn fools ain't never had nothing, don't know. I understand when you borrow that type of money, you got to put up collateral. He don't own CMG. He just the face of it right now. They don't mind him being the face of it, so he can get that money back. You can create an illusion to the damn fools that put people in high places based on what they think they got. Okay, and we'll stay behind the scene, but the bottom line is we want that money back we loan you with that interest. And so we're going to keep CMG as a collateral. You better ask somebody. I'm a businesswoman. I ain't no damn fool. Okay? So I know he's just the face of it. Okay? Because he owed too much money. He's borrowed too much money. Hell, even you go get a small loan from the bank, they going to want some collateral. Okay? So he probably is a small stakeholder in his company. Maybe until he get that money paid back. But you could not have gotten any of them to go and personally take young Dolph out because they feel like they had too much to lose. They understood what the consequences would be, so they get a bunch of people who they feel like their life means nothing, and we pay them crumbs. And so if they're in retaliatory situations, hey, it comes back to them. Keep my name out of it. Okay. And he thought that his name would be kept out of it. That goes to show he's slow. He was the one that had the issue. It is well documented of the beef. And he thought that people, each and every time they tried to take the boy out, it came from his camp and he thought his name would be kept out of it. That's why, he's mentally ill too. You got to be mentally ill to pay for a hit on somebody in your own city about nothing other than jealousy. Okay? But if you all think that Straightdropp is going to sit in jail he's basically got 2 life sentences. I mean, in 5 years, he won't even be getting phone calls. He won't hear from none of those dudes. They would have moved on to wherever they're going to be. And he will be just in the review. He's already in their review mirror. Okay? They wanted him to keep it real under the guise of just don't tell on me. That's what keeping it real is, bruh. Keep it real. In other words, what they be saying is, bruh, just please don't tell on me. You go do the time. I don't want to do no time. Okay? And so he seems to be having he was sitting talking about how he missed Teasy. I guess he sees now that Teasy was not the one that told on him. Okay. He sees, Teasy might have been mad at somebody else, may have told on somebody else, but I think Straightdropp knows at this time now that Teasy didn't turn his back on him. Right. And so, hey, I think this young brother is having a whole lot of regret. And at some point, okay, it's gonna all come out. It's gonna all come out. Sometimes you can wait too late and it won't even matter. But it'll all come out at some point. But you could tell that he's sitting in jail and all he has is time. 2 life sentences to sit behind a wall. I mean, that's not even healthy for animals. That means they put him lower than an animal. And he's sitting up talking about he wished that he could switch paces with Gino. I'm sure he probably do. Because he's living in hell on this side. I'm talking about Straightdropp. Okay. A young man who had his whole life ahead of him, and now he's got to sit behind that wall for the rest of his life. Okay. And the judge wanted to make sure that he didn't get out. He basically got 2 life sentences. He can't serve a one. But in case he got 9 lives, he died and come back, he gonna have to serve out another one. Okay. So hey, it's all interesting. You know, we hear that he's turned into a Muslim and all of that. And hey, listen, I don't have no issues with that. Hey, he was out doing devilish stuff, so he couldn't have had Jesus in him. If Allah can make him a better man, that it can make him have some humility and humanity, then I'm all for it. Okay, I'm all for it. But we don't see, how all of this turns out, you guys. Listen, I'm usually right on the money as it relates to stuff like this. But I get to wondering though, what is his mom and them gonna do? Because it's not gonna be easy for him to start. Because see, what he had been trying to do is get other people to tell. Okay, but it is different. It is different when it's hearsay. His wouldn't be hearsay. Okay, he gonna have to stop going behind the bushes and getting everybody else to tell, and they're gonna have to hear it straight from him. Okay, if he ever want to get some type of credit. I don't know why, but I always felt like Straightdrop's case reminded me of um Alpo. Okay. I just always felt, I don't know why, but I'm talking about him as it relates to his situation. Reminded me of Alpo. Okay. Anyways, you guys, I just wanted to talk about that, Straightdrop sitting behind those bars, and he seems to be having regrets, and he sees that he was used. Okay. And like right now, he's going through a phase where he's feeling sorrowful and down, feeling sorry for himself, thinking about all the people that wasn't real and that used him. That's usually the first stage. Okay. The next stage is gonna be anger. Okay. He said he ain't let up yet, and I don't believe he have. He ain't gonna let up until he gets some of them ones that help to get him behind the bars with him. Okay. They talking about Cornelius, they probably need to be, they worried about the wrong one. Okay. They need to be worried about Justin Johnson. Okay. Because I don't think he's got much wind left as it relates to this case. Okay. As it relates to his case. He don't have much wind left. Wind. Okay. He can try to breathe life into um, this situation by doing the appeals, and anybody would, hoping that there can be he can get out on some type of technicality. But I don't think bro gonna be able to do it. I don't. Okay. But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you can definitely support the channel via Cash App.
You tune in to Real Talk with Tamara, where conversations are real, voices are heard, and the real stars here. The real stars here. No filter, no fear. Truth in the mic, let the whole world hear. Stories unfold, voices sincere. Welcome to the place where the real starts here. From life and love to the latest news, community voices, different views, breaking it down so we all stay clear. Honest conversations live right here. Speak your truth, let it be known. This is the space where your voice has a home. No judgment here, just real and clear. Real talk with Tamara, the real starts here. Real talk with Tamara. Real people, real stories, real truth.